film Cherry is without question a film that could have been a lot better. It's just that the performance of Tom Holland's great. It's just that the screenplay is not that strong, especially considering the people who have directed this film. As the saying goes, better late than never. Now, this is a film I did hear about months ago, but I obviously didn't get around to it back then. But now, after finally seeing this movie, I have to say that there was a lot to be desired. Directed by the Russo brothers, this film is about the main character, Cherry. He goes into the army, he suffers from PTSD, and so he resorts to robbing banks to support his heroin addiction. This film has its list of problems, obviously, but I will say the performances of Tom Holland and Sierra Bravo, they were good. Now, granted, the story is not that great. I admit that when I first looked at this film to begin, it seemed to be going by real slow. And it's a film that I know the Russo brothers could have done better with, considering they directed some great MCU films. But I couldn't help but be a little bit bored by this movie. I would say that this film could develop into something more. I want to point out there's a scene in this movie where it's the ending. And basically, when I see Tom Holland in that mustache, it's a little funny how they had shot that. Nonetheless, though, the character Cherry is actually based off the actual person, Nicholas Walker, so I found that interesting. Nonetheless, though, this is a film that clearly has a lot of tonal problems and the direction wasn't quite clear. Now, granted, this is a film that I really tried to like, but despite the problems it had, I just couldn't really get into it. Yeah, the characters of Cherry and his girlfriend, they got addicted, then Cherry started robbing these banks. It felt like it's a mess of a movie. But is it the worst film I've seen this year? No, but it's not great either. You need more in a film than just great performances from actors. You need a well-crafted written screenplay. And that's what I don't find in this film. And I enjoyed the Russo brothers' work in the past. Avengers Endgame was my favorite films. I love The Winter Soldier. It's just that in this, they try something completely different and it doesn't work to its fullest. Now, granted, there probably is some people out there that like this film better than I did, but it's hard to get infested with the characters if you don't try to write a better screenplay from my perspective. Nonetheless, though, this is a film that could appeal to certain people, but after a few months I finally got around to it. It's just that it's not what I hoped that. Let's just say it's not the film I hoped it ended up being. I'm giving this film a 6 out of 10. I felt like there was a lot of missed opportunities in this movie, but one thing I want to point out is that there is a little bit of humor in this film. It's not much, but it's something. And it's not like I was generally bored, but I remember watching the film and it started off so slow. And this is the style from the Russo brothers that I wasn't used to. Obviously, they directed those great MCU films, but here was a different structure, to say the least. It didn't do it for me. It didn't work. It's just this film didn't appeal to me as much as I wanted it to. And that's my review of the film Cherry. Okay, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this film. Alright, this is Slim God 172 saying, peace out.